Kevin, I found a cool little Goosebumps related spot in LA.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Surprisingly, Goosebumps can be cool. Went to checked out a local. It's a comic / pinball / bar in LA called Revenge of. Really sick setup. And it looks like I was like, if I didn't already have a good spot, Collector's Paradise, I'd make this my new go-to. But yeah, they have like this full array of like new machines and all this stuff, and then beyond, also like, man, they finally have what I've always wanted, where there's a MAME cabinet. I think that's still the current use of those emulators.
Yeah,
with like a really slick like interface screen to scroll through all the games, with preview video on the side, and like their own custom graphics put on sort of the user interface. It's basically like what I want for a custom arcade cabinet someday, right?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you can actually do this? Cool. That's always, because I think I used to go to, here's a name drop. I used, when Dami lived with Nathan Barnett, you might know as Internet's dad, or Keith Apicary was his former gaming persona. He had like a MAME cabinet in his house that was so cool, but like the interface just looked like junk, because I think it was what the technology allowed, right? It was like scrolling through like a file server list, and it aesthetically displeased me, right? I was like, oh, this is so... no, I need like some graphic design on this for this to really work. Anyway, next to that cool MAME cabinet was a vending machine filled with mystery Goosebump and Fear Street books.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It was a really cool idea. So, and I'll post a picture online from it, but it was a custom, they made their own like Revenge of Fear Street or Goosebumps mystery with like a made up cover. So they're basically covering the actual books. You don't know which one you're getting out of the vending machine.
That's cool.
And it's cool. And it's also a bit of like, oh man, this could be some real stinkers here. This could be like...
I also feel like I could tell a Fear Street from a Goosebumps on site, because a Fear Street...
Oh, no, yeah, they do distinguish which one's Fear Street, which one's Goosebumps.
Gotcha.
So I did go like,
yeah,
I know we're more a Goosebumps podcast than Fear Street, but I was like, I'm gonna get a Fear Street book. It's a better chance of a solid title.
Yeah. If they're going full nostalgia, I doubt they'd have any Horrorland in there.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, they all looked like, where'd you guys get these from in the first place? You just like find a crate of Goosebump books somewhere on the street and decided to fill your vending machine with them?
It's a cute idea. Oh, maybe they got a bunch of like, sometimes they like rip the covers off of like overstock ones so they can't be like,
oh yeah,
resold. Maybe they just found a bunch of those.
Oh, dude, I had to do that one of my old retail jobs at Media Play.
Oh,
every book or magazine that was basically being considered a loss, we had to rip all of the covers off, because they were like, oh well, if you don't do this, then people will get these for free. They'll either employees will take them home, or people will rummage through the garbage. I totally rummaged through the garbage in my old job to like get stuff. I would put stuff like, well, this is getting thrown away. I want these, so I'll come back after work and get these out of the garbage in a specially marked sack that I have, Is that gross? I don't know.
No,
I thought it was like me going...
No, the corporate waste is gross. That's just fucking cool. What was the...
Yeah.
Can you tell us what the coolest thing you got was, in like vague terms?
I mean, my memory goes to be fully honest, I was a high school teenager. A lot of them were porno mags, to be completely honest.
Hell yeah. That's like retro, depending on
when those still had a value, so to speak. I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, if you guys are just throwing these away, I will take them. It wasn't like I took like 50 of the same Playboy. It was like different. Anyway, that's embarrassing to admit. But just having to rip off like covers off real books and magazines was like, this is awful. What are you talking about? Like, donate these to a library or something, or all that shit.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but I remember like occasionally finding uncovered books or whatever at the library, or like defaced books or stuff like that. They're just like, we can't sell these, and we technically can't stock them, so these are in the quote unquote trash.
I know they don't have, no one has the time or bandwidth or resources to do it, but it'd be a really cool like thrifting thing to take those sort of destroyed cover books and rebind them under new covers. Yeah,
I bet there's just tons of them out there held onto by book nerds who don't want to give them up.
Yeah. Do you, I'm assuming this is everywhere now, but in LA, a big thing in neighborhoods is like little book libraries. I'm sure that's everywhere.
Yeah, that's pretty much everywhere. Like, young hip people are. There was one in Alston, and I put a couple Space Kings books in there. I'm pretty
Hell
sure.
yeah.
I always try and like, there's also one at like this, there's one in Lowell near me that has like a bunch of artists around it. It's just a little lending library. So it's neat. Like I always love seeing those things, but I'm always like, yeah, I'm going to put my own book in there.
Dude, I think that's a great idea. Every once in a while I take like a book I bought for a project that didn't go through or has betrayed me, and I'm like, well, this goes in the local library.
I think it's very cool that you curate your book collection, because my parents are total pack rats when it comes to books.
Oh, I still keep most of everything. It's just more like, oh, if I see this book now and it reminds me of an awful note I got from John Lasseter, I'm getting rid of this book. You know,
good for you.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah, keep it. I try to. I think a lot about like I try to like archive books because in my mind society will crumble and I will be the Book of Eli. Did you ever see that awful movie?
Yeah, well, I've read the Wikipedia about it after seeing half of it movie like 3 or 4 times. I was just like, what is this movie even about?
Did the twist hit well on the wiki version of it?
The twist is the book is the Bible.
No. So spoilers for the Book of Eli.
Yeah.
The premise, it sounds so cool, actually. That like he has the last like basically intact copy of the Bible, which is insane to think about. Like that is all other versions of it.
I mean, that would be really hard. Like it would be a really specific apocalypse that would bring that about.
You would have to have had an entire like the atheists took down all the religions, and I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, like have you seen Reddit? Atheists are not that well organized.
But he's got this Bible and he's protecting it. And he's also blind, so he's like a blind swordsman.
Okay.
And I think Gary Oldman runs like a small like Western apocalypse town.
Okay.
And he's like, I want that Bible because with it I can use it to control others. Which is,
yeah, okay,
sure,
yeah.
But at some point you're like, just make up your own Bible, dude. Like every other.
Yeah, it's not. It's not hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's other religions that have done the same thing, or said we found a new book of the Bible. Just do that.
Yeah,
but he's like, that's the MacGuffin of the movie. And then the twist. God, I think maybe in high school I thought this was so cool. So it looks like the Book of Eli. Eli, he loses. The Bible's destroyed, right?
No,
I know the Bible. And he finally makes it to some like bastion of civilization in San Francisco or something, where like an archivist is. Oh, if you'd had the Bible, I would be able to preserve it and make sure that future generations. So it's cool if we have the Bible. Gary Oldman would use it for evil, but this religion should keep going. And Gary
Oldman attempting to start a religion with chicken.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So Gary Oldman has the Bible, right? He's like, oh great, now I can start enforcing this on my town of like 30 people. And he opens the Bible and it's written in Braille.
Oh,
Gary Oldman can't read it.
Okay.
And so it's worthless. But then cut to Eli in San Francisco, and he's telling this archivist, is like, don't worry, I remembered it all word for word. Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. I am God. I so loved the world. I made a tree. Like all of it. You're like, that's insane. He probably got some details wrong. There's no way he remembered every word. Anyway, that's the twist of Book of Eli.
Wow. So he was the Book of Eli.
He was the book.
The book was of the friends we made along the way.
Yeah. Why were we talking about that?
I don't actually know. Oh, we're talking about saving books.
Oh, saving books. Yeah. So I have this last copy of Fear Street First Date now, thanks to Revenge of, and I will make sure that it always survives into the apocalypse. Oh, archiving books. Yes. I feel like I've been buying books for like, I need this, but also when society crumbles, I'll be the only guy that's got like, hey, I have the art book for Neon Genesis Evangelion. Do you want to see it?
I really keep a very light bookshelf. And since I'm moving around a lot, I'm currently not like taking all my books with me. But I do have like just like a shelf of manga that I'm loath to be parted from, just because I might need it. I might need to re-up on Silver Spoon or Delicious in Dungeon or Genshiken. And I watched an anime this week that I really liked that
Yeah.
I think I might like the manga more of. It's called Pseudo Harem.
Just not what I was expecting.
I know, right? Like, yeah, I'm with
is
you.
it like I have a fake harem?
It's these two theater kid high schoolers. One's a senior and one's, I think, a sophomore. It's about two theater kids who are like kind of like crushing on each other and courting a relationship. And the main guy is like a props guy, and the main girl is an actor. And she tries out her different personas in their like joking, flirty conversations. So it's like he's dating a bunch of different people because she can switch personas a lot. So there's like Sundari-chan and like Cool-chan, and like she has all these different like characters.
So they are like aware that they're into each other. It's not a will they or won't they where they're not. It's unspoken. It's like kind of like, oh, would you like me more if I did this?
It's a will they won't they for 6 episodes, and then they get together, and it's now we have to navigate. I'm in high school and you're in college. And then it's just they actually do get together, and it's very rare among romance anime, especially high school romance anime, to actually have them, navigate a relationship. It's very, very cute. And it never gets like pervy or weird. It's just kind of nice.
I appreciate that more and more.
Yeah. It gets like a little saucy with their flirtations sometimes, but it's mostly extremely
my pseudo harem. That's I don't know why that's such a funny title. Yeah,
and I guess it started on Twitter. Like the first couple chapters were posted directly to Twitter before being compiled into a manga. But I kind of want to check out the manga a lot because I was looking it up online, and folks were like, "This is great," but like all these scenes were cut, and I'm like, "Oh shit, I might enjoy the manga more than the anime." I think I'm just at that. I think I'm at that like phase of life where I just appreciate manga more than anime. In most cases. Yeah.
I mean, I think even when I love really good anime, I think the few times I've read a manga compared to, like, I'm really enjoying the Dandadan, anime. We could spend an entire campus but talking about.
We probably will, but I gotta say, Chad, I think I kind of prefer the manga to the anime.
Yeah, no, I like the anime too, and there are multiple times where like, oh man, that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
But man, the manga panel was brilliant. Like, that was an amazing, what that guy is doing with, reveals and that sort of thing. So like, I kind of like the manga more.
It's like, and it's like less scary because it's moving. The pace of the anime is way too fast. Like,
yeah.
But it's trying to cram that manga chapter in, and I think like kind of the terror where you can just linger on a manga panel that's scary. Like, it doesn't really hold up in an anime that has to move.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, we could also. Did you watch any of Uzumaki?
I haven't yet, but I hear they like lost most of their budget and almost didn't push it out after the first episode or something.
It's why, the first episode is sort of like, okay, you guys are kind of doing it.
Yeah,
you're getting it across. They are interweaving the stories in a way that I actually didn't enjoy, but it's impressive. I guess they're doing it. And then episode 2 is like an entirely different animation studio. Listeners, if you're not aware of Junji Ito's work, I think if you're listening to this podcast, you are. But like, it's like a completely different directors. It looks like the budget was absolutely scratched. It's don't be so pretentious. The animation's real rough.
Yeah,
and like whichever of the girls whose hair is spirally, in my opinion, in the manga, that hair was moving. In the anime, it's like it's all like freeze dried and just sitting above her head. I'm like, what the fuck, y'all? That's weird. That's not cool. Anyway, it's a shame.
Yeah, they made like an announcement where they were very candid, and they're basically like, look, like, we got through the first episode, and then they said our funding was totally cut. So we had a couple options, and one was to just not release it, and the other one was to do the best we could with what we had, and we chose that one. And I
don't want to be mean. I think they should have just released that first episode and been like, that's all we got.
Yeah,
it's real. That second episode's pretty rough.
I think if you're trying to secure funding, like, I don't know if this was a new studio or what happened here, but like, if you're trying to secure funding, like, I think it's probably a better pitch. But it doesn't really make it for audiences; it makes it for investors and funders. But like, it's a better pitch for like, here's what we can do with money, and here's what we can do without money. Like,
either way, both versions of the show, it just made me want to run back and like read the manga. And like, okay, cool. I love the ability of the page turn. I think is something reveal is different than somehow done in a cinematic anime.
I will say for like we'll save most of our Dandadan conversation for Camp Goosebuds. I will say both the Japanese and the English voice acting in Dandadan is like top tier. It's so good.
Oh, I haven't shifted over to the dub much because I thought the sub was like exactly the voices I always heard when I read those. Like you guys nailed it.
Yeah. The dub has Rita Repulsa as Turbo Granny, and she's great,
which is fantastic. Yeah. It's only the dub. Okay, I thought maybe she did the sub voice too. Okay,
I don't think she speaks Japanese, but
that would probably track. Yeah. Okay. Rita Repulsa is a fantastic casting for Turbo Granny.
And I like that. Anime is a little more mainstream now, and we can get like. We've been getting like YouTubers and stuff in anime, and that's had mixed results. But like getting cult actors in there as voice actors
and also cool. Like that's in your type. We should talk about this book though. If you want to listen to more of that discussion, you can check out our Patreon exclusive Camp Goosebuds. We'll definitely talk more,
and we'll probably talk about Hundreds of Beavers as well. But
oh my god, yes, I want to talk to you about that. But welcome to Goosebuds. I'm one of your hosts, Chad.
I'm one of your hosts, Kevin.
And Paul is in the Shadow Realm right now, fighting the good fight, but he'll be back. So it is just the two of us. If this is your first time listening, we often read the works of R.L. Stine and other 90s YA books and give the hard-hitting critique they deserve. We are actually now in the 2009s.
Yeah. We're in the Wii PlayStation 3 era of
that took me out so much that they kept this isn't the 90s anymore. This book was released in April 15th, 2009.
Yep.
I had probably already camped out of my local college eBay, not eBay. What are games? Electronics Boutique.
Yeah.
To get a Wii, and found it often very disappointing, except for what was the Zelda game?
Oh, Twilight Princess?
I'm a wolf. Yes, Zelda, I'm a wolf.
Yeah, I love Twilight Princess. My roommate in college hated Twilight Princess. And
really?
And I just like played through and he watched and he was like, eh.
Oh, I dug Twilight Princess a lot. I even like Zant. I don't really like that character type in Zelda. I like Zant a lot.
Yeah, the non-Ganon villain is kind of a hit or miss.
Yeah, but I like he was a little wacky guy.
Yeah.
Got a cool helmet.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a story taking place in that time frame where the internet existed, and
yeah.
Before we get into the story, I think Kevin, this is the first time this book really stood out to me. I think people would be talking about Horrorland on the internet.
Yeah, and I think like. We're well past like the AIM or like Yahoo Groups days or whatever. Like,
yeah, even back then there would have been a chat room talking about it. But yeah, this is past GeoCities. Like websites with full forums existed, and
yeah, and I appreciate the like hand waving of the internet because like it's better than R.L. Stine trying to pretend he knows anything about the online.
No, or it would have been annoying if it had been like, I tried to Google it and my Wi-Fi wasn't working. Did they even have Wi-Fi back then, right?
Yeah. They have wireless headphones in this one, and I'm like, all right.
Well, there was a couple of things of like, and we'll get into the story itself, but just moments of it kept kind of bringing to light where like once our protagonists of this book are in Horrorland, another NCAP story. There's like a passing mention by like Jackson, one of the twins, of, oh, my friends at school told me the Doom slide is really cool. I was like, wait, so you're all talking about it? Like it's like this. It broke reality for me in a moment of like, oh, okay. It's different than when we first read the first Horrorland, which took place in the 90s, right?
Right. I'm trying to remember how online I was. Like maybe like Facebook was around at this point?
I'm trying to think because like I was in college at this point, and Facebook. I think that was probably around the time that Facebook had shifted from you could only get it with a college edu address to everyone.
Yeah, definitely. Like MySpace and Xanga would have been around in the. Xanga might already be over. Like Xanga was like,
but there would have been like a Facebook group of like, I lost my friend at Horrorland, like that kind of, and everyone would be talking about it.
Yeah, somebody would have like a dead journal or a live journal, and.
Yeah. Compared to like I think the very first Horrorland book, which I still, adore, maybe out of Stockholm, but
maybe
like I kind of could buy more in the 90s, even when there was the internet, that there would be like, there's just this random, amusement park in the Midwest that you've never heard of before, but you're driving past it the way I would tell my friends about Cedar Point in Ohio, and they'd have no idea what I'm talking about. Like that kind of. Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
I think we may return to that age, Chad. I kept this to myself, but I've actually I've deactivated my Twitter account.
Yeah, congratulations, by the way.
I'm gone.
He's Jason Bourne. He's a ghost.
Yeah, he'll never find me unless you go to Blue Sky. But like. But real chemical .blue sky .whatever, however they fucking.
I'm on there too. I haven't logged in 2 months, but I'm on there.
Yeah, it's kind of a party right now since everyone's leaving, but whatever. But like, I think we could return to like a more folkloric age of hearing stuff from people at school or work or whatever, and not being able to verify it on the internet. Not because there is no internet, just because nothing is verifiable on the internet.
That's that's a scary idea. It's interesting. There's part of it nostalgic for me that makes me want that.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting if we lived through a technological backslide, right? Like
that's why I am archiving all of my books, so I have them. Yeah. So I have my things.
I'm not saying the internet's going to go away. I'm saying it's going to be completely unusable.
Yeah. That's still in my mind. Every file I download, it goes archived so that like in 20 years in Mad Max world where we still somehow have power, I can be like, but I'll trade you a rip of Alien versus Predator for a bottle of water. And they're like, okay, all right, we don't have that one.
Actually, yeah, that's kind of awesome. I like that better than Pokemon cards being the currency.
Oh God, yeah.
So
anyway,
so it's Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill, Jesus, I don't know why I didn't even think about that. Oh my God.
Yeah, Jillian, actually, some subtlety here, and they never, I don't think, they might, but I don't think they go up any hills.
Christ.
But.
No, they don't. They don't. Jackson and Jillian Gerard, I was just more focused on the alliteration of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about, Jesus Christ, they're just Jack and Jill.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, that's actually some restraint that you didn't pick up on that. Like, that's some restraint on... I don't know if this is a ghostwriter or if RL just had more time with this. It does kind of reek of RL in a lot of places, so I don't think this one's ghosted.
There does seem to be a disconnect between the main story and the Horrorland story, where the characters, even though they're referencing things from the book, feel like they're different people a little bit.
Everyone feels different in Horrorland, though. It's just a different vibe.
It just changes your state of mind.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, either RL forgot what he had written and wrote the Horrorland one later, or that one was ghostwritten.
Yeah, something weird. At least, like, I think at least 2 of these, 10 Horrorlands that we've read at this point? I think at least 2 of them have been totally ghostwritten.
Oh, I assume they're ghostwritten at this point. There's no way. This is RL at this point in 2009 has dumb money, right? He's already starting to talk to Jack Black about doing a movie someday. I think he is like he was already phoning it in when he was writing them. I think he's like totally hiring people.
Yeah. But
so this is a weird go ahead. Yeah, this is a weird book because it's both nothing happens and so much, right? You know, it's kind of
I gotta admit, like, we've had some rough ones, but this one I was kind of digging. Like, I think he actually like kind of cares about this. Like, this is a refinement of his Dr. Maniac stuff, where he brings the superhero stuff a little closer. Like,
yeah, and I did wonder, because this is 2009 again.
Yeah.
Like, how much of this is Iron Man?
Have we said this book is called Help, We Have Strange Powers? Have we said that?
No, we haven't said Help, We Have Strange Powers. It's a very funny title.
Yeah.
They do have strange powers. I think you could just say Help, We Have Telekinesis.
Yeah, like one is telekinesis and one is telepathy, which...
Yeah. One is Jean Grey, one is Professor Xavier.
Yeah, and like his comic book nerdery is totally on display here, and he's kind of like... He's said in interviews, I would never recommend anyone write from the heart. I think he kind of cares about this, and I think this is kind of a culmination of 2 of his things. Like, I'm getting vibes of like the Dr. Maniac stuff, and I'm getting vibes of remember when the 2 kids turned into like were creatures and ate like roadkill and stuff?
Oh yeah, whatever book that was. Yeah,
whatever book that was. But like this is sort of like the kid. There's a brief like flirting with the kids are the monsters here, and I kind of wish they had gotten.
Oh yeah. This book for a while I kept thinking of did you ever? I know, Kevin, you've only seen famously 13 movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of them was Chronicle.
No, not at all. No.
That was the reason we had to deal with Max Landis for about a decade. Was he wrote that one, which I've heard he didn't even actually write it.
You're hearing it here first on Goosebuds.
Industry scuttlebutt. Yeah, like very much teenage kids get very similar to these powers. Mostly just like telekinesis.
Yeah.
Psychic, we can crush stuff with our mind, move things.
Yeah.
We can start to fly, and one starts to go bad. And there's a moment in this where the twins, Jack and Jill, are starting to like, let's torture kids with this.
Yeah, and like we start from the perspective of Jill, and we stay there. Jillian eventually gets mind reading powers, and she's kind of like it's kind of a good storytelling device because she can read the thoughts of other characters, and
yeah,
it's displayed as dialogue.
It paid off so well in Horrorland. Especially in Horrorland, you could just go, oh, who are these old 12 kids? Oh, I can read their name. That one's named Sheena Deep. Cool, moving on.
Yeah, by the time we reach Horrorland, like the power creep of kids has totally like eclipsed all of the early stuff. We have two kids with literal actual superpowers, which is amazing that they get to keep them. I thought they would be status quo'd back down. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, this is funny because I kept thinking, like, well, this is Horrorland. It should be the Avengers of Goosebumps kids, right? Okay, but every time we've been like, so what gain powers are these unique? What abilities? I guess the Deep siblings can know aquatic life.
They're rich.
That's all
they're rich,
really
and they have science powers, I guess.
Yeah, their power is money. They're the Batman of the group.
They could have gotten like a pirate curse or something, but
yeah. But finally, we have two kids who are slightly unique in that they have. They're essentially Akira, right? There's like a lot of. I don't know if RL's ever seen or read Akira. Sorry, listeners.
I mean, to be fair to Americans, they do say Akira in the dub, like that they like the dub that we got as Utes. Like they say Akira.
That's true. They do say it a lot. Yeah. So canonically, it is Akira.
So, Akira. Yeah.
But including. Maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's lay out the early stuff that's not as interesting, but just to quickly lay it out. I think there's worth mentioning. Jackson and Jillian are going to a movie to see Butt Kicker, which feels like a Community joke.
Yep.
They are
Kick
aware
puncher,
of Marvel.
Butt Kicker,
yeah, Kick Puncher. Yeah, they are aware of superheroes like DC and Marvel stuff.
Yep.
Like Batman sucks compared to Kick Puncher. That's what we call Kick Puncher now.
Puncher.
Butt Kicker. But they have to sit next to the town's other twins, Artie and Nina Lerner.
Yeah.
Who are just snot factories, it seems like.
They're a challenge, like, because they are just designed to be annoying, and we are saddled with them a little too much. And they do have a payoff, but their payoff isn't quite worth the amount of, like psychic damage I took from being around them.
No pun intended.
Yeah. But they're, they spill popcorn on Jackson, and Jackson like just freaks out, and like what's his name, Artie, like reaches into the popcorn bucket with his snot covered hands. And
that is crossing a line. That is crossing a line for sure.
Yeah, I think it crosses the line more like post-COVID lockdown, but.
Sure. Well, this is how COVID started. It was Nina and Artie touching everyone's popcorn in 2009.
That's what the Institute was trying to prevent, Chad.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Institute. Okay,
we'll get there.
So Jackson and I just want to say that I think the first part of this, despite I guess it's thematically laying the groundwork of making you think about superheroes, right?
Yeah.
This area of the story still is just like nothing though. Jackson and Jillian, right? They get kicked out of the movie along with Nina and Artie for fighting.
This felt like it took like an hour for me to get through. Like this
I know this part was a real slog. It didn't have to be, but I wanted to be nitpicky about how so they don't get to see the movie, which would have been great to let our characters think about how great it would be to be a superhero and all the wish fulfillment of being a superhero.
Yeah.
They then wander the mall with nothing interesting happen for 2 hours.
I would be amazed if they let RL just go on about his idea for the Butt Kicker movie. Be like, Butt Kicker 2, but it's the origin story. Like it's actually the prequel.
Butt Kicker Origins.
Yeah.
And I guess it would be the first time he got his butt kicked,
yeah.
Right? And then he was like, I should kick other people's butt.
Actually, that would be too thematically, like, succinct for RL. Like... It would have to be essentially the movie Big, but instead of
But just like, there's something about the fact that, yeah, this whole story could have been, it would have been nice actually to just share some details. Ariel could do some goofs.
Yeah.
Instead, they force the reader and the characters to just wander the mall doing nothing.
Yeah, after a fist fight, after Jackson like flips out and starts like headlocking and punching Artie, I guess, for being gross. Like,
yeah, which I would argue a little over the line to fight him.
They're 12. Yeah. They are 12 years old. Like,
yeah, but so they are now wandering for 2 hours, and you're like, oh well, they gotta get to the Madame Doom machine.
Of course, yeah. Obviously, this has all been heading towards the Madame Doom machine.
Madame Doom machine, but they still didn't have the plot point of like, oh well, now 2 hours have passed. Mom has not picked us up. She's probably distracted by the White Sox game.
Yep.
So then they go back to spend more time.
Yep.
And then find the Madame Doom machine, which I'm just like, then cut out that entire fucking section of your book.
It is.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's kind of cute in that it's the twins. We don't often get like sibling friendship in Goosebumps. Like, they're kind of getting along. Like, there's tension between them, but they mostly treat each other as people, and like they're united against Nina and Artie, who are the weird twins, and they're the normal twins. And like,
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
To clarify, Kevin, I just meant like you have two different other paths you could do, which is either just have them get kicked out of the movie, and because they have 2 hours to wander, they find Madame Doom, right? They made a choice, and there's a consequence, or just skip the entire wander around the mall area and just have it be like, we saw the movie, it was fun. And then as we were walking out, Mom was late because go White Sox.
Yeah.
And now we found Madame Doom.
I think the first chapter is more egregious than the mall wandering. The mall wandering is kind of vibes for me. The first chapter is, I hate getting name blasted in the first chapter where we get every single permutation of this character's name. It's like, my name's Jillian. Don't call me Jill. Never call me Jilly.
Call me Jillian.
I'm thinking of changing my name to Adriana. If I was a superhero, I'd be Worry Woman. Like, it's just, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. There's not really any distinct characters to either of them. Even though one becomes more of a villain than the other, they're still pretty bland.
The mall is at least a place. Like, I can imagine what a place is. And the first chapter of
third place. Yeah.
My favorite place. I love the mall. It's so good. But the first chapter of just like, this is my name. These are like 38 permutations of my name. Is just we are in nebulous writer space where we don't know where these characters are existing or who they are. I just have to imagine a void and a character that goes by different names, and I might know what clothes they're wearing later. That's what like kind of.
Yeah. When was the last time you went to a mall, by the way?
Oh, last time I went to a mall, probably about 2 years ago to see Princess Mononoke in theaters at the Burlington Mall in Massachusetts. Yeah.
I don't know if it was dead then. Yeah, I'm assuming it was. My malls out here in Burbank have been like ghost towns, and we went a couple weeks ago to get Heidi's engagement ring resized because I got the size wrong. I'm so mad at myself.
It's hard to do that stealthily. It's hard to like stealthily figure out like someone's ring size.
I took one of her rings from her curio cabinet when she was gone and got that, and went to a jeweler and got that size. Turns out I took one of her friend's rings. Like, she had like a friend from college that she had kept, like, left the ring, and I was like, God damn, I got the wrong finger. Anyway, we go through the mall looking for a jeweler, and there's just like dance music blasting. This is like 2 p.m. on a weekend.
Huh.
It's dead. And find that there's like a DJ with a turntable set up just trying to like blast music into the food court. Like, the mall, you can feel the mall's desperation of like, please hang out here. Please, like, if we make this like a club, is that something you guys want? What do you want? It was very annoying.
We have this like unkillable mall outside of Boston. It's called the Burlington Mall. It's got like a cheesecake factory that won't quit. It's got like a food court with like the trendy Korean corn dogs and stuff. Like,
well, I don't know what that sounds delicious. I don't know what that is. That sounds
all right, imagine a corn dog, but like really goop it up, like as many sauces as possible.
Oh my God,
sauces and toppings and stuff. Like,
oh my God, Korean sauces. Oh my God,
yeah. There's tons of
put some bulgogi on there or something. Oh my God,
there's like tons of like cool like chill food prep stuff on YouTube about like Korean corn dog stands and stuff. But like they have one of them, and they have like shifting stuff in there. Apparently there's like a tap room that has like all sorts of craft brew. I don't know why I'm doing an ad for like the Burlington Mall.
Yeah, this sounds like a pretty cool mall.
Burlington
I actually want to
Mall,
go to it.
I mean, it's pretty good. We used to hang out at a different mall back in my high school days. We used to go over the New Hampshire line and hang out at a mall up there, and it was it's weird. It was a weird place, but like it had 3 GameStops at one point.
Oh, probably because it was a GameStop electronics boutique that got bought out by GameStop, and then there's another GameStop.
It was a Babbage's, a Funkoland, and an electronics boutique.
Funkoland! Oh my god, I had a Funkoland. Damn, the wrong company won at all.
I know. Funkoland had the Game Boy games forever. Anyway, we could go.
So the kids find Madame Doom, and boy oh boy, Madame Doom is not going to be an iconic recurring Goosebumps thing. I don't think.
I thought she already happened. Like wasn't like I will never look at the wiki if I can help it. But I'm looking it up. Apparently. They first appearance is in this book. Oh, okay. Really?
But the wiki's wrong. But it says both first appeared in Revenge of the Living Dummy and also first appearance Help We Have Strange Powers.
Okay, yeah. I kind of recalled her in Revenge of the Living Dummy because she's kind of Slappy adjacent, right? She's another wooden being.
Yeah, she's on the cover of it. So
right.
RL was setting all of this up.
And she kind of reminds me of the witch from like the magazine curse book. I don't remember titles.
Yeah, I mean you already referenced Big. I just always think of Zoltan. Zoltar. Yeah, according just re-looking back to it in the first Horrorland book when Brittany Crosby, a character I could not tell you a single thing about, whoever that is, when they arrive, there's a Madame Doom fortune teller, and she gets a card from it that is blank. I'm sure that's a really cool thing they pay off later.
In this one, we get a mid-roll ad. We get Welcome to Horrorland right in the middle of the book. And it's like, okay, well, obviously.
Explain what you mean. Explain what you mean by a mid-roll ad.
I consider the Horrorland portion of these books to be additional content that we need to be advertised.
Yeah. Madame Doom is like, got a card. It's like, go to Horrorland. Like, check out Horrorland. It's pretty cool.
And I was like, holy shit. Are we going to Horrorland immediately? Like,
yeah. I was actually kind of interested.
Yeah, but they also get zapped. And like this counts as foreshadowing for RL, so he gets his one literature of the book.
But also it's not foreshadowing, though. I think. Like, I mean, yeah. So the zap, they put their hand in the boo box and or whatever the thing is called from Dune, and they get zapped. And for the rest of the book, it is implied that the machine. I mean, I guess you're just assuming the machine gave them these powers, right?
Yeah.
Even though I don't think at the fortune telling machine, I don't think the kids say a single thing of like, man, I wish I was like Butt Kicker, or if I had powers, I'd kick those twins' asses. I'm pretty sure
they do. They were like, we would fly them out to the sun or mind control them into babies or whatever. Like they do reference there too, like the 2 powers they will eventually have.
Okay, so they're in that mental place when they got zapped. So I guess you could be like, that's the fortune teller granting their wish.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. I was kind of hoping when I heard that like they get splashed by the twins in their SUV on the way out, and I was kind of hoping there would be like an Alex Mack situation, like they try to walk home and then like a government truck, maybe from the Institute, like splashes some chemicals on them and like.
That's just how it happened. I forgot to tell Alex Mack, just a random work hazard.
Yeah, she just gets splashed in a truck accident and gets her superpowers. I thought that's where we were going with this. We should watch an Alex Mack. If
we should watch an Alex Mack for sure. Yeah.
If RL gets to do superheroes, we should get to do superheroes.
Should we just jump to the big like serialized episode where there's an evil Alex Mack because like she got separated while she was in goo form?
I think that's the most responsible place to start, honestly.
Yeah, right there at the end of it. But anyway, just telling you right now, listener, if you haven't read this book, Madame Doom actually does nothing to affect the plot. Nope. She's like a giant red herring, and it's weird that the book is built around her. I would have maybe chose something different than the Madame Doom machine.
There's just nothing for her to do. Like that, like she sets the thing in motion. She's just like a weird recurring thing, because I don't think RL was totally interested in how they got their powers, because at this point in the book, I don't think he had thought up the Institute yet. I think he's...
No, it definitely feels like this feels like he was writing it as he went.
And he's not going to go back and, like, rewrite anything. He's just going to... He's just going to keep going. So he's like, yeah, Madame Doom does it because, whatever. Extended universe.
Imagine if Nina and Artie, when they drive by in their van, like you said, and it was a very funny description of, like, Jillian could see the kids in the car continually just shrugging and saying sorry. Like,
yeah.
Almost feels like a cartoon. Imagine if there was, like, and there was a small detail, and then right behind them was a black tinted van, but we paid them no mind, right? Like, you're just planting the idea of other things.
Yeah, like, that would be... Like, they were going pretty fast for, like, a rainy day. Whatever. Like, just something.
Yeah, Jackson and Jillian's parents are White Sox obsessed. I was being asked, I know you're not a big baseball guy, but did you follow, I think just in the last week or two, the Chicago White Sox, which means this story must have taken place in Chicago. No one else likes the White Sox.
Okay. I'm not a huge baseball guy, but I know our mutual friend Josh Howell, and supporter of the show Josh Howell, was big into his beloved Phillies.
Yes. And the White Sox, I think, just quote unquote celebrated having the most losses ever. And I was watching footage of, like, the game where the White Sox fans were mad that the White Sox were maybe going to win a game. Like, it turned into this sort of, like, heel turn of no, lose this. We're here for a record, baby. Like, that kind of thing.
That's Chicago's on a different level.
So basically, we spend, like, the next part of this book kind of just going through the standard beats of most superhero origin movies.
Yeah, this is just... Right? Have you seen Spider-Man? Have you seen the Raimi Spider-Man? Like, this is just Sam Raimi Spider-Man, like, coming to terms with your powers, and it's also like...
Oh, I noticed the waffle was floating near me when I wanted the waffle.
Yeah,
and
I knew you were going to make waffles. Like, how did you know?
How did you know? The parents are really not bothered. I think the strange wish fulfillment of, in school, Jackson, sorry, give him his full Christian name, Jackson freezes the clock.
Yeah, that's kind of that. I like the how do we use these powers for personal gain, and Jillian's bad at it because she doesn't wait for the question to be asked, but she reads her teacher's mind to answer the pop quiz or whatever.
Yeah, and well, then she doesn't even have the pop quiz, right? Yeah. Like, somehow Jackson, by stalling the clock, even though that's making the class go longer, the teacher's like, up. What's the time? I guess no quiz today. It's like, no, have them move the clock forward. What do you do? Just say, that's a small.
Just to hold it at, like, 2:05 so it doesn't become 2:30 is stupid. Like, have it go very slowly.
How many kids media things have we watched or read over the years where the joke of the school day will not end and the clock seems to be stuck is the bit.
And you know what would actually happen is they'd be like, oh, end of class already? All right, well, this pop quiz is now homework. Enjoy your extra homework, children.
Yeah. God damn.
Which is an upgrade, let's be honest. Like now you have no time limit.
Sure. And then your dad can help you cheat.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that.
I don't know. My dad never helped me cheat. I didn't.
So I mean, there's a little bit of that fulfillment, and then, like, we are setting up this whole time that Nina and Artie, the other twins, the snot twins, are having a big birthday party, and they are being forced. Jackson and Jillian are being forced to go. Kevin, I don't know if you've ever. I've had a few times where, like, I'm the one nice kid who goes to the weird kid's birthday party.
Yeah, I've done that before, but honestly, like, I was pretty weird and pretty comfortable being weird as a young kid. So, like, I went to weird kids' birthday parties, and they even came to mine. So, but I was not terribly, like, anxious about that. I was in, like, a neighborhood where, like, I had the tough cigarette smoking, vandalizing 12-year-olds who liked me and wanted to hang out with me. And I'm like, I hate breaking the rules. I'm gonna hang out with these weird kids that have video games.
Yeah, I usually was more like, I'm going to go to whatever. I mean, funny enough, I think Nina and Artie having a Wii is probably a large reason why a lot of those kids go to that party.
There's a really cute. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, it's all good. I was gonna tell a sad story. We don't need to tell on the podcast.
There's a really cute moment that I like. There's a really cute moment where Jillian's walking through the halls and she's Brandon, who's never mentioned again. But he's thinking that Jillian looks hot in like a aughts appropriate way, I guess.
What? I didn't clock that at all.
Yeah, she said she finds someone like checking out her vibe, and she's like, Brandon thinks I'm hot. Like it's just like a fun, like kind of like, oh yay, RL, like yeah, this could be fun for a little bit until we make it scary. Like she can, and she also like gets this ability to tell, because she can read minds, she can tell whether or not a thing is an accident if somebody like wrongs her. So like,
oh sure, yeah.
It's like Nina like spills stuff on her or whatever, and she's like, "Did you do that on purpose?" Oh no, it was an accident. And it's like kind of amazing. Like it's kind of like a really cool, like this could just be a really interesting power for a high schooler to have, is to read minds. And
oh sure, yeah. I think when I used to wish fulfillment, think about whatever superpowers I'd have, I still think teleportation's way cooler. But I was like, oh, with telepathy, I could finally ease all the anxieties in my mind of like, do this person actually like me? Are they doing this because they feel guilty? All of those little unasked questions I can finally answer.
But how could you ever trust your mind reading that it's like,
oh my God,
how could you ever know it to be true?
I think my anxiety then go, well, do they know that I have mind reading powers and they're just thinking that so that I think that? Oh God. Like I would find a new depraved level of anxiety.
I think if the internet has taught me anything, knowing what people think at all times has not been good for anyone's mental health.
Yeah, that really should be more. It should be a wash and like, especially like, I don't know, teenage. How old are these kids?
12.
Are they high school?
12. They're 12.
Oh, they're 12. Okay,
yeah.
I couldn't place during this how old they were.
Yeah, they're on the verge of teenagerdom.
But I'm sure those kids' minds are just a hot mess of emotions and anger and puberty and all. I would not want to read any of it.
Well, we get another hottie in Coach B, who is young and tall and hot.
Yeah, why did that even exist as a plot point? Coach B has no relevance in the story other than there's a cute teacher that the girls all like.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I completely forgot about Coach B. Yeah, what a non-necessary story moment.
Yeah, it's he's just sort of putting stuff out there in an attempt to like maybe give himself ammo later. Like, you know, he knows he's going to do this like finding your powers part, and apparently he has to write in chronological order or it does not count.
Well, yeah, also, if he's doing what we believe of just doing a first draft stream of consciousness,
yeah,
I could understand that by this point in his career, I have to lay down backdoors out of this plot. Like,
yes,
I need other characters so that if I'm at the end, I'm like, you know what? It was Coach B. He was giving them mind-altering medicine or whatever. Like,
yeah. And I think this is also how he's trying to characterize Jillian, since he's not the most confident female character perspective writer, so he's falling back on his Fear Street stuff and being like, what do girls do? Think boys are hot. Okay. Like
let's get to I think things start kicking off a little bit more, and I think we've milked a lot of pretty boring part of the book.
Yeah, well, there is this one really interesting part where I guess Artie beans Jackson during a soccer game, and like Jackson like Kamehamehas a soccer ball straight at Artie's head, and he misses.
Yeah, which is like, I don't think that kid's strong enough to really do any damage.
No, it's a soccer ball.
Psychically enhancing the soccer ball.
It's a soccer ball. Like,
yeah.
But
we don't even get it. Artie unintentionally dodges the attack. So it's like,
but
okay.
But Jackson's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry I missed. And it's like, ooh, this could be really cool if Jackson has intense, like, psychic Akira powers. And Jillian has the mind-reading powers, and she has to thwart her super-powered brother. If we turn the twins against each other, it could be really cool.
I was hoping it was going to go that way, which is Chronicle, right? One of the friends turns bad, and then, like, we have to stop him.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would go that way. It does not. It does not. Jackson's bout with evil comes and goes.
Yeah, and the next big evil scenario is when they freeze the twins.
Now this is actually, I thought this part was kind of maybe scary.
Yeah.
So they They go to Nina and Artie, the Snot Twins birthday party.
Yep.
The Wii.
Well, this isn't at the
Wii
birthday
boxing.
party yet. This is
Oh, sorry. This was prep. They guys kept talking about the birthday party. It was prep.
Yeah.
They go over to check out the Wii
and get the science notebook from Nina.
Oh, Nina dropped it in a bunch of soggy, wet papers, and they're like, "You could microwave it." I'm like,
and Jillian is like, "Did you do that on purpose?" And it's like, "No, it was legitimately an accident." So she's like, "Fine, whatever."
Yeah, I guess it could be. There's interesting about does that soften her anger towards these kids than she had left, but it culminates in Jackson going like, "Hey, let's test out these powers."
Yep.
I don't know what his intention was, but he like temporarily lobotomizes the kids.
Yeah, well, I thought that was like their like duo attack, like freeze them like mind and body or whatever.
Yeah. They come from both sides of the astral plane.
Yeah.
They come at these twins, and I couldn't tell if it was like they are frozen where they can't move. It read to me more like they have been stripped of any mental activity, like they have been huskified.
Yeah, they describe them as the living dead. And it's great. Like they can't tell if they're breathing. It's just like a really tense moment of like, we punched the neighbor kid's lights out. Like, how much trouble are we going to get in?
I kept wondering because then it escalates where the parents, Nina and Artie's parents are showing up.
Yeah.
I don't know if the kids, they would be in trouble. Like, let's say the parents came down and saw this, right? And they're horrified, like what happened to her. I don't know if Jillian Jackson would ever be blamed for that, right? Like, I don't. Maybe the parents would be like, you did something to him.
I think
we're taking you to jail.
I think it would just be like a Dishonored, like, or Deus Ex or scenario where like, what they're like, what's that noise? My children have been frozen, and then the parents are immediately frozen too, and they're like, okay, we can fix this, and then the cops show up, and then they get frozen. And
they just keep building up more and more. Like, but at some point, there's 50 different people in the basement.
Yep, people just keep walking in and being like, oh my god, someone's done a murder. Guards.
God, I like those Dishonored games. They're pretty good.
Dishonored games are pretty fucking good, dude.
Make a new one, guys. Arcane, please. Any of you that still exist that haven't been laid off.
What, you don't want to play the Deathloop one?
It did not speak to me for whatever reason. I want to try it, but
I bailed on Prey as well.
Dude, I keep trying Prey. I hear raves about it.
Yeah.
I love those BioShock likes, and just something about Prey. I don't know. I don't like the monsters in it.
Yeah,
they're not satisfying to fight.
They don't really do much for me. And it's not as evocative as like a BioShock. The story seems pretty good. It's just like the 0451 games, as they're known, are kind of
sorry, why are they called 0451?
Because every single one of them has a code early on in the game that the code to the door is Fahrenheit 451 0451.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that like a inside industry like reference way
it's
Pixar Disney put all those like A113 on all of their movies?
Yeah, it's just sort of like a line going all the way back to original System Shock, I think, where the first door code is 0451. And so
wow. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, System Shock cool. It might actually first appear in System Shock 2, I'm not sure, but it's in Deus Ex and BioShock and Dishonored and everything. But like the first time you run into like a 4-digit combination lock in a video game, always try 0451.
That's pretty cool. Yep. That's pretty
rad. Pro tip. But
that's my new phone unlock code. If you ever get my phone, you can know what my unlock code is.
Ooh, a treat from Chad. All right.
Anyway, they get the kids restarted, rebooted. And the twins are fine.
Yeah, and they're fine. So we leave, and then the kids are like, "We got to get a hold of our powers. So let's have a training montage." And guess what? They can't fly, and they don't have super strength. But old kid shows up. Best character.
Yeah,
Finny
well, this is the most. This is the most Akira it's been.
Yes,
is a strange old child shows up and is like, "We've been watching you. The Institute will get you." And then never answered what it is. Phineas, this little old man boy, who I think is actually make him be on the cover. He's already scarier and cooler than whatever Madame Doom did.
And it's like his eyes sink back into his skull, and they're just like dull, like black pits. And like he's got like a skull face with paper skin. Like this is such a great like. Are they aliens? Like what is happening? Like
I like Phineas a lot. Phineas is cool.
Does he reappear? Because you're calling him Phineas. Is he? Like, I don't...
Oh, I thought maybe his name was just Phineas in the beginning. I guess it was just Phineas.
It's just Phineas.
Or maybe at one point, Inspector Cranium, who we haven't even gotten to yet, calls him that.
Inspector Cranium. Oh man, Inspector.
Jesus. We'll get to him in a second, but I want to call it the Finney. And this is kind of a cool setting. I think, like at a tennis court at night with no one around.
Yeah.
There is something kind of spooky about that location.
And
tells them the Institute will be watching them. That's right. This is a Fallout crossover.
And a feral, barely disguised gray alien appears from the shadows and is like, "Hey, we've read your vibrations, and I'm from the Institute." Like,
yeah,
like kind of cooking, RL. Like
that was suddenly much more interesting than it has been in a while. And then maybe this was just a mental trick. It's described that Finney holds up a strange gem that bathes the place in light, and then they suddenly lose consciousness.
Yeah, what's the jewel that gives Juggernaut his powers?
The Gem of Sidorak.
Thank you. The Gem of Sidorak.
Yeah. That's right, guys. Juggernaut's not a mutant. He gets his powers from a gem.
Him be magic. And like the fact that you can't read, or Jillian can't read Finney's thoughts is also very interesting as well.
Yeah, yeah. And then like, that's cool. I kind of wish they explained the gem at some point, or just you saw other gems and you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
It's an institute, just call it like a mind fulcrum. We
never bust the gem out again. It's apparently a one-use item, so whatever.
He used his one, yeah. He used his soul gem to take him down.
And then we learn later they're a 20-minute drive from home, but they are abducted essentially, and they wake up in front of some fucking weirdo who calls himself Inspector Cranium because his real name is too difficult to pronounce, and he's got a giant head, and he has psychic lightning powers.
Yeah, I don't know why I was upset about, I have a real name, but no one can pronounce it. It was like, you guys are a bunch of scientists, you guys can't respect like a non-American last name at some point or whatever it is.
But in like R.L. Stine's like work, unpronounceable name means alien, right? Like
pretty bigoted of you, RL. Pretty bigoted of you.
But yeah, pretty fucked up. But also, it's been a hallmark of every alien invader in like Goosebuds is their name is like Skithathrix or whatever.
No, but I just figured it was going to be like, it's Galifianakis.
Yeah.
And no one could say it, so everyone just calls me Inspector Cranium. He's not even a doctor, he's an inspector, right?
Yeah, Inspector Cranium is, I think, a pretty good villain. Like, we've had mad scientists before, we've had aliens before, but with the backing of the Institute, I think there's more mystery in what's going on here. Like, we don't know for sure he's an alien. We don't know for sure he's a doctor. We just know he's like a weirdo with lightning powers, kind of, because he does zap them, and he does have like pain powers and stuff. So they do put on the Dune like pain devices or whatever. And we get like kind of a body horror scene where they're subjected to ear torture.
Yeah, which I guess is like about it's triggering their psychic powers, maybe.
He's trying to suss out if they have powers or not, which apparently he already knows. We find out later he just knows and he's fucking with them.
Yeah, so that part's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But so much of this is just him going, I think you guys are psychic. The Institute must keep eyes. And to the kids' credit, I feel like Inspector Cranium could have explained things if he really wanted the kids to play along. He is not doing a good job, right? Yeah. Very obvious lie, especially considering these kids are superheroes fans, is like, I'm part of a special group of people that try to find kids with powers. If you let me work with you, you could join the Avengers or whatever. And then the kids would be like, yeah, we have powers. Instead, he's just coming at them all weird. Yeah. So they have no reason to tell the truth. But then after this long test of the kids just saying, nah, we don't got anything,
he lets them go.
Finney drops them off at home, 20-minute ride.
Yeah,
and he gave them a card of... Yeah, go ahead.
We do learn two things about Finney. One, he's 114 years old, and he uses his psychic powers to stave off death.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
Pretty rad. Two, when asked to read Finney's mind, like, Inspector Cranium is almost entirely, like, useless. This could just be the Finney show.
Yeah, Finney's got all the power, it seems like. I mean,
but Finney became my favorite character ever because when he allowed Jillian to read his mind, all he was thinking about was apple pie with a scoop of ice cream on top.
Apple pie.
And like, shit, man, me too. Like, I fucking get it.
It did make me want some apple pie. Did
me too,
dude. Dude is 114 or whatever, and he's still like, I really want some apple pie. Like that's the pinnacle of living.
Dude, I'll send you the Chef John apple crumble recipe that I just did. Like, it's seriously super fucking quick. You use a cheese grater to peel the apples. You don't even have to do like an apple peeler or slicer or anything. It's great. It's so good.
It's a not good podcast. I just gutturally groan. So the kids, this is kind of interesting. The kids want to tell their parents what happened. I think we haven't had this in a while. The kids like tell them what happened, and the adults are like, I don't believe you. You're crazy.
Yeah.
I at least appreciate this being different they are trying to tell the parents.
Yep.
And then they just can't seem to find the words to describe what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They later, realize, the Institute must have like long range psychically changed
They can send
memories.
out their own vibrations, and we know that the van that Finney drives has a little satellite dish on it, so they can.
I forgot about that. Yeah,
they can like send and receive like information. So, like the vibration stuff, he keeps vague enough to be interesting instead of vague enough to be frustrating. And I'm like, man.
Yeah, and I do want to call out these parents are pretty bad in that if your children are saying, "Hey, something happened to us last night." And then you're like, what is it? And then the kids start to have trouble finding the words for it and then shut down. I think you should keep asking them questions, right? Like, not just go, well, it must have just been in your imagination. Back to White Sox. Like, is surprised how little they pushed on that.
No, well, I mean, this feels closer than like the just generic denial that we see a lot. Like,
yeah.
But it's still frustrating. And these are bad parents. They're absentee White Sox fans.
Every once in a while, I just don't know like what the story would be much different if the parents we've read stories where the parents are aware and sometimes they get pulled in and that changes the stakes because the adults are in trouble too. I don't know why it would just be like, okay, that's really scary. I'm going to call the cops and tell them to keep an eye out for an old child. And all of the research the kids do about like, we went to the internet and searched the Institute, couldn't find anything. Like, let the parents be doing that stuff so that it feels like the stakes are going higher.
I love
I
love that concessionary line that RL throws out there. It's like, yeah, we searched on the internet, couldn't find it. Oh well, I guess can't do everything on the internet.
But that you mentioned already, Kevin. I thought that was kind of a cool, scary moment that maybe was underwhelming when it shouldn't have been. So when Finney drops them off, right? He's like, the Institute will be watching. We're already on to you still.
Yeah.
And Inspector Cranium had given them kids like, here's a business card. If you ever any questions or need anything, you can trust me. Take this card. And it's not until they get home that they flip the card over and it just says like, I know you lied to me.
Well, like as apparently like corrupt and fucked up as the Institute and later we learn the Thought Police are.
Oh my God.
Apparently the Thought Police do at least need probable cause before they can kill a child.
But wait, are they the Thought? That's the thing is, so yeah, they start, Cranium starts talking about the Thought Police.
That's later. So we have to go through the birthday scene, which is very, we're just kind of moving deck chairs around the Titanic here.
Yeah, let's just power through the birthday scene. Well, the birthday scene itself is whatever until the parents go away for some reason.
Yeah.
I think I thought they were still in the house. That's just how little they mattered.
Yeah.
And then suddenly Inspector Cranium bursts through the door like WWE's Shockmaster. Like just break it down. Terrified. Oh, because I think Nina and Artie had also been like, please stick around after the party because we have something we want to tell you.
Yep.
You're going to find out they are psychic. Cranium bursts through the door. No decorum. It's just like, I guess he says he is the Thought Police. I kept thinking he was talking like another third party of people that like the Institute was in league with. But if they're the same, I don't know.
I think the Institute is the Thought Police.
Yeah.
But it seems a little, I don't know. The Cranium becomes a little too like generic mid-boss. Like in this, like We face off against him and win just a few too many times.
He's not actually too much of a threat. He has a little bit of psychic fight, but
I actually think this has a lot of references to Escape to Witch Mountain. Do you remember that?
Oh man,
film at all?
I don't remember many of the details of it, but watched it a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I don't remember any details either. That might be a fun camp or whatever to check it out again. But yeah, like that's about psychic children with powers who are hunted by an institute. Yeah, so birthday happens. We get to the thought police.
Unintentional 1984. Couple lines I saved. They were just like, "Wait, RL, are you trying to do a subtext? I don't think you are." But at one point, Artie and Nina are like, "Oh, that's why we act so weird, so no one will notice us."
Yeah.
Artie says, "Quote: Having powers is too dangerous." He glanced up at Cranium, bobbing on the ceiling. At this point, Cranium's already been defeated.
Yeah.
The thought police are always out there, always looking for people who are different. I'm like, yeah, the thought police, huh? Yeah.
And they said normal people, like, Cranium says normal people can't have powers. Only weird people can have powers. Like,
strange rule.
Very, very strange rule. So I guess he kills the normies, and that's why there would be superheroes in the world of Goosebumps.
Yeah, he's hunting them down before they, I guess, get too strong.
Yeah.
But Artie and Nina have been eluding Cranium's detection for a while. There's a bit, I could be a CinemaSins about this, where like it feels like them being secretly stronger psychics than our twins should have meant that when they shut their brains down earlier that didn't work, or they were like, we pretended to be brain dead.
I think they do say that we pretended to be be dead.
Did they? I'm sorry if I missed that.
I believe they did pretend, because I think Nina literally has the exact same powers of Jackson, quote, only way stronger.
Okay, yeah, so I guess that was an intentional, like, we hit who we were and let you... They should have been like, also, really fucked up, guys. Like, you guys tried to brain wipe us. We were just kids.
You could fly under the radar and not get snot in my popcorn, guys. Like...
Oh, I meant more the opposite, that Nina and Artie should be like, yeah, you guys tried to kill us in our basement. What the hell, kids?
Well, yeah, pretty fucked up, but no one was actually in danger, I guess. And they might have, like, been playing it up and went a little harder just to give them a scare.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
This is the problem with this twist for me, is that it completely sheds a different light on Nina and Artie. Like, there's no way we could have known they were this character, and so of course it's a twist, but like at the same time, with no clues, it's just kind of like, okay, well, yeah, you got me, man.
Yeah, do something earlier where like Nina or Jillian tries to read Nina's brain and like gets nothing, and she's like, wow, Nina's just that dumb, or whatever, right? Or dude, have her be like, she's thinking about apple pie, and then you realize that's like the psychic defense is you think about apple pie to...
Or have like a side effect of the super psychic powers be like you're just shedding snot the whole time.
It's like in other ones where you usually bleed out of your nose.
Yeah.
Instead it's just snot. I would love that.
That's like perfect. That's a perfect like goosebumpsification of bleeding from your nose. It's just you're sniffly all the time.
That's great. So this is the point where Nina and Artie, their powers have been revealed, are just bashing Cranium against the ceiling of their house. And then Artie reveals he has power over time.
Yeah. Quote, power over time. It's great that we never get to explore this, but he can just babyfy people, essentially.
Yeah, at first I thought he was actually going to reverse time, but instead he's reverse aging someone on command. He turns... Maybe one of the best visuals ever in Goosebumps, gotta say, is turning Cranium, who, I'm picturing like a Bob Hoskins man this whole time, or someone, like flailing as he de-ages into a baby, and then they fling the baby out the window into the wilderness.
Yeah, past the tree line. And I really wanted, like, Finney to jump out and be like, do me next.
Yeah, right. Actually, wait. Yes, you're right. That Finney's like, I don't want to be keeping my elderly skeleton body. Yeah. Knock me down to 40 again, please.
Yeah, put me back to a svelte 40. Finney's like, I was hot. I was as hot as Coach B. Please.
And then 1920s, everyone wanted to get on top of my pogo stick. I don't know
what. So I like that. I just noticed this now, but I like that Artie and Finney have like similar powers as well. Like, I like that there's a short list of psychic powers you can have, but Jillian, our main character, is the only one with mind reading powers, which aren't very combat capable, but they are like literarily interesting.
They have their uses.
So they do a victory dance. They run into there's a time skip. They run into Madame Doom again, and she gives them another ad for Horrorland. Sorry.
So I just want to say, there's a major detail if you're curious. The fate of, they have to visit Nina and Artie. Probably plans to, like, let's be a psychic, quorum of people.
Yeah.
And Nina and Artie have already moved. Their house is vacant. Jillian and Jackson are like, will that be our fate? Will we have to keep moving? Kind of implies the parents, like, knew Nina and Artie were psychic. Or
right.
Maybe they manipulated them. It's like, you want to move to Ohio.
Yeah, were they like Invader Zim robot parents? Like, what was happening with them?
But
this I was imagining Invader Zim shit for like this whole.
That's really funny to picture.
Yeah. Like, Inspector Cranium was Dib's dad in my head. Like,
oh my god, yeah, Professor Membrane. That's so funny. So yeah, the twins, the power twins are gone.
Yeah.
But sorry, Kevin, you were saying they find Madame Doom's fortune booth.
Find Madame Doom. We get another ad for Horrorland on the fortune card, and on the other side it says, "Take care of your teeth, and they will take care of you." And I'm like, okay,
why?
Like, are you going to
pay off in any way?
Yeah. And then we're in Horrorland, which, please, we don't have to linger on. Like, please, Chad, please, we don't have to linger on. Okay.
Sure. I'm just gonna listen. Someone maybe has read the Horrorland books and knows if the dental recommendation thing pays off later, if that's how they defeat Dr. Maniac, I will apologize. I will eat this copy of Fear Street that I got in the vending machine last night. But otherwise, I don't think it's going to pay off. I think it's some dumb RL joke.
They do bring up the teeth thing again, and I think that's the end of it. They're like, remember when she said we have to take care of our teeth? What was that about? And it's like, I guess this could pay off at any time, but I don't think it will.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So our twins are there. They still have powers, which again is cool. I'm
happy to have some level of uniqueness to them. I at least can remember the twins who have psychic powers.
Yeah. The fact that they're twins and their name are Jack and Jill, like, we're finally getting around to, like, Phoenix Wright level naming conventions. Like, and they find Madame Doom again. It's the same Madame Doom machine with the missing eyebrow, and she gives them a card, and now it says Escape Horrorland, and I'm like,
I was so pissed.
Fuck you, Madame Doom.
Like, what are you talking about? You've been telling them to go here.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was like, no, guys, I was wrong. I'm sorry. They're just spitting out cards like, I fucked up. I know I said welcome to Horrorland twice. I'm sorry. I fucked it up. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
I was don't even need Madame Doom in this scene. I don't know why. Like, it would be clear to escape Horrorland because they have a threat anyway. The kids are suddenly stopped by Inspector Cranium.
Which is the most, like, salt and pepper, like, JRPG recurring boss thing. It's like Morgoth the Fell Omen appearing outside of Limgrave. Again.
No, it's ulcerated tree spirit showing up again.
Ulcerated tree spirit.
Another fucking ulcerated tree spirit. This is the 20th goddamn of these things. I'm sick of it. I was
just in the mountaintops of the Giants, and I fought the ulcerated tree spirit at the end of a really dope dungeon, and I'm like, I wish there was an actual unique boss at the end of this.
That monster sucks. That monster's not fun to fight anytime. I hate ulcerated tree spirit.
I've been playing through Elden Ring again to help my dad through it. And
that's so cool.
It's been really fun. But the key to ulcerated tree spirit is just don't lock on. If you don't lock on, you pretty much never get hit, and it becomes a cakewalk.
Those games frustrate me. I play them. They frustrate me.
Yeah.
How did Cranium show up? It says
I didn't even write Cranium down in my notes. That's how much of a throwaway encounter this fight with Cranium
I was frustrated because it's just doing the finale again. Like, he tries to psychic fight them again, but Jillian's like, what are you doing here? You were a baby. He scowled at me. Sometimes babies grow up fast, he said. So Okay.
This really does feel like he's undoing a lot of his ghostwriter's previous work. Like, he's just status quoing again.
Yeah, but we're in Horrorland. There's enough threats here. I don't know why they need another encounter with Cranium.
Bring back Finney, have a meeting apple pie just somewhere in Horrorland.
Yeah, that'd be so great. Finney'd be much better. Like, I got a card too, and I wanted to go.
Hey, do either of you have the de-aging stuff?
Can you guys de-age me? I would like to not feel pain in my bones all the time.
You can just de-age my head. I just want to remember my family.
The only reason I'm still alive is my love of apple pie, and I want to read Winds of Winter someday. I want to see... So they kick Cranium's ass.
Yep.
Again. Not interesting.
Yeah.
And they run to, I think Horrorland's running out of tricks. Where do the kids go? The Doom Slide. What I used to think was a cool, novel thing in this series. This is the umpteenth time they're at the Doom Slide. And even the horror there guarding it is like, yeah, whatever, take a slide. One of them's infinite. Go for it.
Yeah. And then... And then the slide takes them to Dr. Maniac and the Purple Rage, and
I hate the Purple Rage. I hate every line the Purple Rage says. I've always hated him. I know he's just like supposed to be a Hulk parody, but like this weird alliteration joke of him saying that bursts my baloney, that parboils my peonies. I don't think anyone who wrote that actually knows what parboils means.
Or peonies.
Peonies. At least it's like that's a flower.
Yeah.
That splits my spaghetti. You're just saying words.
But
it's not interesting.
You know RL is lizzing when Purple Rage explodes.
How does he explode, by the way? Who kills him?
He just gets mad. He just gets so mad that he explodes. That's the Purple Rage's whole thing. He gets super mad, and then, like, he's like, I'm going to choke you out, but he gets too mad. If he gets too mad, he explodes.
Had that happened before with the Purple Rage?
Yes.
When he just, like, self-destructs?
Yeah, I think he regenerates or something. But, like...
God, he sucks.
If he gets too mad, he explodes. Like, it's... just... I've never read anything faster. It's like I'm walking, like... It's like I'm trying to run to my towel on, like, a hot beach. Like, that is how I am reading the Horrorland chapters. I'm just trying to go as fast as possible.
It's interesting that they've decided to really go all in on Dr. Maniac, who, I don't know, maybe we were more fond of him in that book. He's kind of nonsense. Like, he's almost too chaotic to be interesting.
Yeah, they go more into, like, his decor in this, where they're like, it looks like a 5-year-old decorated this room. It's got, like, primary colors and, like, zebra print and, like, I don't know what they're doing, but they're kind of building the Dr. Maniac aesthetic. Like, maybe RL has thought about this a little bit. But we also get a little interaction with Robbie Schwartz, creator of Dr. Maniac and the Purple Rage, and also RL's, like, stand-in character, which is the only reason he gets to keep appearing in these Horrorland segments.
Yeah, if anything, he's almost now becoming the protagonist. Well, actually, he's not the protagonist of the series now, but
yeah,
he's got the most tied since Maniac has been the most constant one. He's referred to as the Keeper.
Maniac is the Keeper, yeah.
Yeah, Maniac's the Keeper, and he's just doing, like, a ridiculous parody level of torture of
turning the heat way up and then turn the heat way down.
Way down and just and making puns about it. He reminds me of, I don't think you're much of an American Dad watcher, Kevin, but they do this amazing Antichrist parody episode where the Antichrist is just like a bad Riddler where he's covered in question marks and everything he says is an inverse of what Jesus would say of, like, blame them, Father, for they know what they do. Like, just that kind and you can tell that everyone around him hates him. That's what Dr. Maniac is like. He's just the fucking worst. And the most interesting turn for Dr. Maniac is Robbie gets so cold, he falls to the ground, presumed dead. Dr. Maniac feels bad about this.
Well, Jillian's mind-reading powers let her yes and Robbie Schwartz's death to, like, really sell it. Like, Robbie Schwartz is just like, I guess I'll play dead because this is what R.L. Stine would do in this situation.
It's like a bear is attacking me, just pretend to be dead.
Yeah, he just pees his pants and falls over. And Jillian immediately goes up to him and is like, oh my god, he's got no pulse, he's not breathing, he's dead. And Dr. Maniac is like, no, I'm the keeper, not the killer. I was supposed to keep them alive. Wah! And then he runs out the room.
Can I read his quote? I know you want to move back. they had, I'm ruined. I'm meat. I'm nothing but contaminated meat now, Dr. Maniac screamed. He let out a sob. No, I can't end this way. I always promise myself a happy ending. No way. I can't handle this. He began to scream, howling like a hound dog, shot his arms forward as if he wanted to take off flying, and he ran right through us. He did the joke from Freakazoid.
He did the joke from fucking Freakazoid. Like,
yeah. Like, it's fucking insane.
Keep Freakazoid's name out of your mouth, R.L. Stine. I'm so serious. Like,
I love Freakazoid.
You're not good enough to do a Freakazoid reference.
Oh god, they're gonna reboot that at some point. I'm gonna get mad about it.
I mean, did you catch the Teen Titans Go Freakazoid episode?
I saw that happened, and I hadn't watched it yet.
You know, if you can like, if you can like distance yourself a little bit from that show, and it's a really like actually respectful tribute to Freakazoid. Like, it's pretty good.
Hey, there's some good episodes of Teen Titans Go. Check out Movie Night, written by me.
Whoa, what?
Oh yeah, I wrote an episode of Teen Titans Go.
I knew you worked on Unikitty. I didn't know how many other Cartoon Network shows.
That was like, I think that was kind of an audition process for Unikitty. Was like working on doing a freelance Teen Titans. We did it was fun. We did it with the people who created Unikitty, Ed Scudder and Len Wang. They directed that one. It was really fun.
To be clear, just covering my ass a little bit. I did enjoy the original run of Teen Titans, but I was not like, my DNA was not rearranged by it like most of the internet seems.
I thought it was a really cool show, and Teen Titans Go has definitely the creators have a enjoyment in mocking people that liked the original in a way that I would maybe not do, but
I think they realized that was kind of how they were going to like make a name for themselves. Is like, we'll just respond to it. Like, that's how you do like an influencer account or like a YouTube account or whatever. Is you just farm.
Yeah, they did some recent episode in the last couple of years where they like finally did like Teen Titans. The Slade is back, our arch nemesis, and they like are clearly leaning into the joke of like, you've always wanted to know more what happened, and then just, I don't know, go to the movies or something. Fuck, god damn it. So movie night, check it out. Teen Titans Go.
They swipe the I will check that out. They swipe the card on the wall to remind you that the card exists. The card opens up the wall. It's stupid. Everyone hates it.
The card. But here's the thing: the card doesn't even open up the wall, right? I think Jackson's psychic powers do.
Oh, okay.
That's how, I mean, maybe I misread it. It seemed like he was like the kid was swiping the card up and down on a wall just like an idiot, and nothing was happening. And then Jackson psychically opened it, and then the card got to the next part of the door.
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. for me at this point, so I was like, I don't think I'm going to be rewarded by knowing any of this stuff. They end up in the mirror dimension, and then we're introduced to Luke and Lizzie. We're going to be the protagonists for the next one.
Wait, hold on, Kevin. We gotta track this.
Do we?
Because I think this is worth pointing out.
6 minutes on this, and that's too much for me.
So they get to a restaurant filled with mirrors. No one's working, but this is like another establishment in Horrorland. It's whatever. I don't know, RL, maybe come up with a clever name for the restaurant. You like puns for everything else. So it says 5 of the kids jump through the mirrors. I could not tell you which kids they are. I guess the Deeps are in there, maybe?
Sure.
And then as the monster police show up, I don't know, maybe like if you already have the thought police, don't have the monster police, just come up with a different name for it, all right?
I think as many ways we can get the kids to distrust the police are good, so I will be on this side.
You're right, Kevin, you're totally right.
Yeah.
All AMAB.
All monsters
are bootlickers. But for plot reasons, I don't know, the mirror ran out of charge or whatever it is. The rest of the kids can't get through when the monster police show up. Hey, it calls out that
good. You know what? Good.
Sure. I like that our only knowledge of Carly Beth is just that she is like, let's all proceed in an orderly line. I was like, is that Carly Beth's personality? She cares about order, maybe? But 6 leftover kids, including Carly Beth and Jackson and Jillian, cannot get through. And I had a moment, Kevin, I don't know if you did, where I was like, there were that many kids? Like, there were 11 to 12 kids in that group.
I think we averaged 1.5 children added to the group per book. So that kind of tracks, I think.
Yeah, okay, so I took this as RL himself going, this is too many kids. I need to dwindle the numbers and get half of them into the safe space where I don't have to write about them anymore. It just felt like plot, like, oh, yoink, I too many to remember.
Yeah, just like melt them down into like a mass of souls or something like that. Or
combine them into one new kid called Jimmy, and Jimmy's just like, I am all of them.
I have all of the experiences of every child and every Goosebumps.
I went to Snake Canyon, and also I've put on werewolf skin before, and I've talked to a haunted doll. I have all of those experiences in one.
I have every uncle and parent you've ever known.
But they get away from the monster police.
Yep.
And meet, I kind of got a small pop out of me, Kevin, of like, who are these two kids that have been watching them and introduce themselves? It's Luke and Lizzie Morris, the OG Horrorland kids. And they're like, we're not working for the horrors, but also we think maybe your friends went to Panic Park. That's worse. You should stay in Horrorland. Why?
Are they going to make them be from the 90s?
Wait, oh my God, you're right.
Or are we retconning Horrorland to occur in current day?
Oh, wait, I just realized these are not the OG. These are from, well, One Day at Horrorland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, these are the kids from the 90s, but they were described as teenagers, so are they not aging? That's actually a really interesting idea, Kevin.
Or are they slow aging, or what's going on?
Maybe time moves different in Horrorland.
And they want to like save Horrorland or something. Like they were like, you have to go back to Horrorland, and the kids immediately distrust them.
They just said you'll be safer in Horrorland, and then didn't elaborate because RL probably hadn't figured out how.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, Luke and Lizzie's minds cannot be read, so maybe they're psychic
or dead.
Maybe
or time ghosts.
Or time. See, that's. As far as someone entering the story, that's kind of a decent cliffhanger. It's the first time I've been somewhat interested in Horrorland.
I will acquiesce to that. Like, that's probably the strongest, and considering the next one is Escape from Horrorland, like, it does seem like we're finally getting some sort of payoff, but the Horrorland stuff has been nothing.
No. Yeah.
We've definitely reiterated that several times, but the Horrorland stuff has just been fucking around. Like, there was.
Oh yeah, and they're somehow diminishing the scares of like, you know, what would make a scary amusement park where you can actually die. At one point, those kids, they try to flee by like, oh, we'll go to the lake and row canoes across, and then they realize that, oh no, this is from the bottomless canoe ride. The bottoms fall out, but it's not a scare moment. They actually like swim back to the lake and all kind of laugh about it.
I'm trying to think of, like, how you could do this, and I think you do need, like, one Columbo-esque character, like, one, like, detective character yes. That is, like, maybe, like, his dad is, like, the safety inspector for Horrorland, and he's, like, they're, like, trying to get Horrorland up to code or something like that, and, like, maybe his dad goes missing, and he's, like, tracking all these other like missing reports from his dad's briefcase or something, and it's like, oh yeah, something weird happened to these kids, the Deeps, like, and here's a cutlass and it's wet and it smells like seawater. Like, what's going on here? like yeah. you could have something go on where like we know these characters because we just experienced them, but they don't have to talk. They don't have to be around.
No, God, I would pay so much money to read a Columbo Goes to Horrorland book. That would be so good.
Maybe we can keep Robbie Schwartz. Like, I will.
Yeah. Maybe Robbie Schwartz can grow into. He was a comic book artist, creator, and then he just became a detective.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been really enjoying. For whatever reason, our Discord community has become like a Columbo fan channel.
Hell yeah!
It's been great. Which. Speaking of, I think we've covered Goosebumps, this book, for the episode.
Yeah, next one is going to be Return to Horrorland. My hopes are slightly high. Maybe we'll have some kind
Cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. I've been burned before, and you know what? I might touch that stove again. Like, we'll see.
We'll see. I'm curious bringing Lizzie and Luke back. I have some fondness for them. If you want to support this show and help keep the lights on in our own amusement park of sorts, you can do so by going to patreon.com/goosebuds. Get a bunch of cool bonuses like our monthly Camp Goosebud episodes that we've already alluded to earlier. You get access to our Discord channel that we talked about where you can, it's not just Columbo memes, but a lot of good Columbo memes. A very cool community. I
actually just started a new channel on the Discord for game dev talk-ins. So,
shit.
A couple of our Goose buddies on our Discord are thinking about making games and asking questions about engines and stuff. And I make games, so I was like, all right, let's just make a channel for this. And I don't think we have like a ton of people who are like potential game devs, but I thought it's been a fun place to sort of disseminate information. I just posted 3 of like my programming games on that part of the Discord, where like if you want to know if you would find programming any fun, you can kind of play these games and check it out. But
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's been really fun. But yeah, that's on our Discord. If you give us some money on the old Patreon, you can come join us and talk in other fun channels on there too. It's really a good community. And
it really is. It really is.
And since nuking my Twitter, I need those.
By the way, so besides patreon.com/goosebuds, social media is weird. Tell a friend about the show. If they like 90s YA nostalgic stuff, we also cover stuff like we recently went through an episode of Pete and Pete, or our most recent episode covering Family Matters is Stevel.
Yep.
What a bizarre episode that was. You can check all those out. Tell a friend, send them our way. Or you can email us at goosebuds@gmail.com.
Yep.
We'd love to hear from you, see what you guys are enjoying and digging, and especially our Patrons can guide the course of the show.
Yeah.
Speaking of, also, Kevin, you mentioned you make games. Where should people go to check out those games?
You can go to my itch page if you want to play some games in your browser. It's at supertrystudios.com or supertry.itch.io. Super like super and try like TRY. And you can check out even more of my stuff on my personal Patreon. That's also for Supertry. That's givekevinmoney.com. Or patreon.com/ I think Supertry, but yeah, givekevinmoney.com. Givekevinmoney.com will always be the correct way to give me money and or not give me money and just stay updated on my stuff. You can join my Patreon for free. And I posted some game dev thoughts there for everybody earlier this week. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm up to. I'm working on different projects. I'm working on a follow-up to Space Kings. I'm working on a platformer.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And we are working on Goosebuds Goosebuds RPG that is in our sites. So we're working on it. We're working on it.
We're cooking something up.
Yeah, as the kids say, we're cooking on stuff.
We're cooking. Let us cook. But also keep requesting it. I love it when people are like, "Where's Pretend Friends? Where's Goosebuds RPG?" I want to get back to doing that stuff, and like social pressure is the only way that it'll happen. So please, please keep asking for it. And yeah, have a happy Halloween if this episode strikes you around that time.
Yeah, it should. The internet gods willing. Yeah, this should be up near the end of October. Thank you also for supporting the show and listening to us. It's always Halloween here, but especially in October, we appreciate sharing these stories with you.
Yeah, we love you.
Right. Until next time, love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Ooh, this episode of Goosebumps. Sorry. It's like bumps, not bumps. Ooh, this episode of Goosebuds was brought to you on the first take by our Patreon supporters. We'd like to thank everyone in the Book of Names.
The Book of Names.
Book of Names.
Starting with Stefan, Jive Turkey, Kuwabara.
Low Belly, Hate Me.
Hollis Hornbeak.
Michael McDowell.
Hey, Josh Rob.
Mickey C.
Nathan Dolezal.
Mike Lanteri.
Buddy Morrill.
Ailcade.
Mel Dipson.
Afsheen.
Dango Twiss.
Zenticles.
Stealth, a beautifully fleshed skeleton Bates.
Robert Moon.
That one just worked. Brian Wells.
Jason Crooker.
Clay Castle.
Miguel Pardo.
John Keaty.
Gaff.
Bring back Paranoia Shop, hashtag justice for shoppers.
What justice do you want? Juggalopolis, my head? You want me dead? Will that satisfy you?
Damn, I didn't know it would kill you to bring it back. Holy shit.
Would it kill him? Yes. Turns out, yes.
Turns out.
Gregory D. Warren.
Cody Redfield.
Bradford Coulter.
Aiden wants to be the ring bearer at the wedding. Ooh. Dude, we gotta speed up the wedding. Like, the wedding's gotta happen. We gotta get to the honeymoon.
Ice church wedding?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. It's been a long time in the making, like all weddings.
It's been...
Jar Jar Slinks.
Chosen One.
Leviathan.
A band champ.
Jonas Engman.
Carl.
Anthony Mulberry.
What are we doing? The John D. and Catherine T. MacArthur Foundation.
Elusive Co-op.
Yanni Markovina.
It's weird how everyone just unsubscribed for the Book of Names next month. It's weird. Brooke X.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Christian Van Skipper.
Jeremy Lowe.
Rappin' Brian Hobgood.
Nice. Zach.
Oh.
Connor.
Joe, Spooky Digital Ghost, Tierney.
Young Tom Whittam.
Andrew Jadzik is happy to make some old fashions during the reception if anyone would like one. Have had one in real life.
Ooh.
It's good.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Fantastic.
No, I mean I've had one of Andrew's is what I'm saying.
Oh, wow. That's okay.
It's good.
Lord Cornwallis.
Can I get one mailed to me? Please?
Yeah. I can just put it in an envelope and just send it.
Carson Birkenbean.
Murph Epp.
Sean Minogue.
Devin Ticklebean. 2 finger points at his eyes, points at you, points at his eyes, points at a distant apple man, takes a breath. Ugh.
What does that mean? What is the distant apple man?
Let's go get that apple man.
That distant apple man sent a chill down my spine. You can't fuck with an apple man, dude.
No, we're going after him.
Is it like a scarecrow, kind of like a man made of apples?
You never rush down an apple man. It's not a DPS race. We gotta assign roles. We gotta get a firm tank.
Lies. We're Rusty Glenning him.
Okay, I'll disrupt.
Luke.
Chip Handsome.
Matt McClellan.
Tanya Turtle.
Juan Jalapeno.
Keith Alcrow.
Timothy Misudilakis.
Ham_boat.
Raymond Hernandez.
The Crow Fence, but seasonal.
Matthew Sutton.
John Barber.
Jeff Coffey.
Kelsey Kinnaman.
I like a little Kinnaman in my coffee. Tobias Clark.
Russell Kasberg.
Xavier Jimenez Castillo. Wow.
I like a little Chris Boutrakis in my Castilla.
Scotty Pippen.
Dungeon Kappa.
MC Hamster commits his body to the ice.
Cool.
Yes, do it.
The ultimate commitment.
Literally cool.
Dig him out. Dig out the entity.
His body has warmth, so it's melting the ice.
No. Zach Weir. We'll kill him so his body's cold.
Limp Duck.
Sarah Camp.
Meet Virginia.
Jonas Blotterman.
Alex Moon, the robotic dog.
Estamena, Lord of Paul's Pants.
Oh, I love saying this one. Chris, handjob ghost that came out... Sorry, I was too excited. Chris, handjob ghost that came out the TV, Nelson.
It's a nice ghost. Streak.
Kieran McNamara.
I like it because it's dual meanings.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, it can come out the TV. Or diet soda.
Oh, well, in one meaning, it's kind of rude. Paul Grasso.
Any of these ghosts just like burst out of the walls and just jizz everywhere? Just ask him. Not trying to ruin anyone's day. Not trying to give them the worst day of their lives.
Worst day of their job. I'm not trying to make anyone have the worst day of their job.
Joe, regular name Scott.
I think I should leave. Lamb.
Coleman Lagusa.
Shag, Marry, Kill, Edition 2. Plant Dad, Scarecrow, Mermaid. I mean, I guess just Goosebumps ones. Marry Plant Dad.
Marry Plant...
Kill Scarecrow.
Wow, okay.
What? He's providing for me.
He's providing for his plant son.
I'm killing Plant Dad.
Oh my god, and I'm gonna bone Mermaid.
Kill Plant Dad. Yeah, I'm shagging Mermaid, and Scarecrow will marry. Scarecrow probably gonna be a little abrasive if you try and shag. So kill Plant Dad.
The Scarecrow comes at midnight? That one? You're gonna marry that one?
You see how bristly that guy is?
Guys, marry Scarecrow. He's got a job and he's good at it. He's outstanding in his field.
They've never
That's very funny.
stopped using them. They've been using them for hundreds of years.
A pair of Scots.
Jonas Enevoldsen.
Levi Kidder.
David Gray.
Bryce Diori.
Matthew Purtado.
Luke Knoodles.
Hugh Bolin.
Zambambino.
Some of Chad's bird friends chirp, listen to Camp Goosebuds to learn about Mickey Rourke's bird.
It's true.
Ah, the meatloaf.
Joe Gorman.
Burger's unfortunate divorce from the entity and the rest of the polycule.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Burger. The church doesn't recognize divorce.
But don't worry, there's plenty of entities out there to marry.
Yeah, you can get married to more people, but you can't divorce yourself once you're married.
Chad doesn't want to unfreeze the entity. Chad doesn't want to recognize divorce, man.
What can you do in Ice Church?
You can skate on the ice.
Nicholas Maloney.
Me, Andrea Villanueva.
Thomas Jancis.
Eric Horwitz.
Tiffany Leah.
Lucretia MacEvil.
Mutant Astronaut.
Need more kimchi.
Henry Torbert.
Adam Knapp.
Reed Stub Indiak.
Yoey Evans.
Jorgen Derby.
Ranch Mielzer. Swaggy Yellow Squire.
Cameron Hansen.
Caleb. Monster Misfire West.
Ooh. Bendy Nasty.
Yoplin.
Generally depressing.
The Deadly Bulb.
Philip Reynolds.
Ben Bohan.
Nate Bitg.
Ryan R. Davis.
Scott Wabell.
Resident Lorcana Guy.
Evdog.
Calamity Carol.
Gluten-free Rocky Mountain Oysters.
I'll have a bite. Greg Mustow.
Stinklich.
Dr. Diarrhea.
Gorgeous Ryan Carroll.
Tacky Tammy.
Megan McCormick Mason.
Hi, first time, long time.
Sprinkle Buns.
Ninja Breadman.
Hello to Kiss Franklin.
Aaron Lord.
Dr. Chocula.
Oily _Suds.
Mike Hart.
Robot Arena.
SSJ Trogdor.
Cassandra Harris.
Max Boltzmann.
I like Cassandra Harris was a secret. It's like if you listen close, you get a Cassandra Harris in this episode.
It's a beautifully sibilant name.
Woo, sibilants, big McLean.
Kira and Brian are big fans.
Secret big.
Dan Antonio. What are those were secret?
Mike Spaghetti Jones.
Farah.
What was that?
Is my cat here? I just feel like I have a cat. Quest Goblin Grader.
Postmaster.
Chris Curto.
Cole Gleason.
Jesse Boggs.
Michael McLoy.
What?
Kyle O'Neill.
What did I say?
Well, he started saying Michael McDowell, and then he shifted into Michael Malloy, I think.
Yeah, I think I just put a little, put a little Southern charm on that Malloy.
Yeah, that's just some Southern charm when you do that.
A little Malloy Malaise, yeah.
Red Baron.
Time eats flesh.
Soggy Newspapers.
Chris Kulik.
Dakota Camp.
John W.
And name number 173, Anthony Stoker.
Brony Danza.
From Philly, Tan Your Hide wants more pretend friends in Goosebuds RPG, so do we.
I want it.
Give it to me.
Saturn Video.
Wonder Skin. Secret Skin.
Max's war cry is Muppet noises. Which Muppet noises?
Wonder Skin.
Kiwi of Blurb.
Skeet Door.
Hurt. AKA Cyberbully.
Secret Hurt. Phil Force, Prophet of Paul Christ.
Whoa.
Whoa, hold on now, hold on.
Cool.
Didn't tell you guys, but Jesus, my brother.
Whoa, fuck. I knew it.
Oh my god. Oh, this makes so much sense.
Big
This
reveal.
explains why I never met him. And you never introduced me.
You're always ripping up parts of your body and forcing me to eat it. Ugh. Blarbin.
Logan Kilgis.
No, wait, Logan is Kevin. We've messed it up.
No, I'll just say Feratu, Vampire at Law, and then we'll get back to normal.
Jesus.
Starship 9.
Kit Bush.
Sirasin.
Dennis Wright.
I'm scared of Kevin today. Jover the Moon.
Got an energy today, Chad, and I apologize for it. Christopher Boyce.
Okay.
Cameron Ganzeveld.
Dacious the Goon, formerly Goon Cahoots. I love the name updates. That's so helpful.
Yeah, we should be daisy chaining all of the names together constantly until we reach the character limit.
Yeah, like a dwarven lineage. Always tell us all of your previous
All
names.
Please.
I am known in some circles as Goon Cahoots. But to the elves, I am Dacious the Goons. Rat IRL.
Daniel Hirschberger.
Matt Septor.
Greg and his Gregorian chanting army of metal monks pledge their shred to Kevin. That's me.
Problem Child 2 on DVD.
Cool.
No, never made it to Blu-ray. B.
Jeff Big Baby and his wife, not a big baby.
The wife's my favorite.
Odins _ Eyehole.
S? Wait, why did I say S?
Wait, no, I go. Yeah.
No,
what
yeah,
happened?
no,
You do
Chad,
Elodie.
Chad, you say S.
S.
Okay, and then Kevin, you say Elodie. Elodie.
And then Paul say Ant, _Honey.
Tiraku, the thing that goes doink in the anime.
Donk. Clint Deerking.
And number 208, Agent Miskatonic.
We love all of you. Spencer Y.
Dale 7.
Hey, Pelican. Capybaras are friends, not food.
3 a.m. sleep.
Ben. Floyo Sayer.
He got there. He did it.
Got it. You nailed it.
He said it.
That's the hardest part of my job, honestly.
I fear it every month. Edgar Gracious.
What is...
I don't know. I was psyched up about the one name before it, and I couldn't say it, and I got it in my head about the second one.
Little Southern Reagan on that one. Edgar
Crazy.
Crisis. Bub Cabbage.
Oh, my cabbages. J-Far's Ice Mall isn't doing too great, but he's keeping it open because it's important to have a space to exist without needing.
I really appreciate that, J-Far. Also, kids love liminal space horror stuff now, so it's good you're doing that.
I don't know what he needed, but it just ended on without needing. It's a powerful
No, I get it. It's
statement.
like a space you don't need, but you want to have.
Yeah, I would rather not
That's how I
need
take
anything. Yeah, and I guess the mall.
That's the point of a third space. It's an optional space.
I don't know what it means, but it made me feel a lot of feelings that I wasn't expecting to feel hearing that. Jolly Old Jules.
Number 1 gnome.
The Shrekronomicon.
Angelo Edward Longton Santone.
Smelodies.
Geech.
Spencer Lee Johnston.
Caleb and Michael watched Transformers 5, and it was so bad they are now seeking political asylum in Cuba with the rest of the Transformers?
Who knows?
I think the Transformers did go to Cuba at one point. I don't know. Bumblebee killed Hitler. That's also established.
Oh, sick.
I had to put together that Bumblebee as a robot. Just because.
What? You didn't know?
No, I did, but.
He's the favorite robot.
He's all right. MC Wright has finally found out how to change their name in the Book of Names through the help of the community, and also Chad, who is separate from the community for some reason, but okay.
I'm winking and pointing at you, MC Wright. Good job.
Bless the community. Taylor Garofalo.
Nowhere Lucas.
Lumo Nuva.
Brian Udath.
Tall Glass of Dumb Bitch Juice is now married!
Hey!
Congratulations!
Congrats. Nintendo 60 jorts.
Daniel Hirschberger.
Tig Ass Biddies 007.
Complex.
Mimel the Spooky Delph converts Chad's football career, ending Corvette into a Dragula. What?
Yeah! That's a spooky car! Get Chad off the football field!
CL Reagan wants Corn Nuts Ranch, please.
Ooh, I love corn nuts. Adam G.
Treehouse of Jorge 3, Season of the Witch.
Justin.
Jim Corey.
Checky Bay.
Jay Bird.
Carly Beth's parents, 808. I don't have a bit this time. Go see The Wild Robot while it's still in theaters. It's actually such a go.
Such a go.
It is such a go.
I've heard it's such a go. A Yeti in the hand is worth 2 Bigfoots in a bush. I love that.
That's a true-ass statement.
Toten Watson.
Wyvern.
Angus Keith.
Shelly Castillo Garcia.
Nat Noah.
Big Old Dumb Bird hopes rice is thrown at the wedding. Is Big Old Dumb Bird married to Big Old Dumb Bitch Juice? Like, are they the two that are getting together?
Maybe, but don't eat the rice, Bird. It'll explode your stomach. Felix.
Yeah. That's why I throw ice cube. We'll throw ice cubes at the wedding.
Actually, it's more thematic and safer.
Yeah.
Wait, no, then everyone's slipping on the...
No, it's fine. We all stand still for about 30 minutes while it melts outside the ice church. We're good.
Cameron Murphy, I wonder how much they know about audio.
Daniel Lavelle.
Quinn ba-ba-ba. That's how I say 3 exclamation points.
Thanoshack.
Damn. Chaos dunking on all of us. Nathan Galindo.
Bitch Show.
Patrick Nielsen.
Wolf CIA can't cater the wedding if booby traps. There will be booby traps.
No Wolf CI bagels at the wedding, then. J. Fen Crane.
Damon the Demon.
Eric.
Andrew.
Lee Murphy.
Lee Murphy.
What?
Sorry, I got thrown. You know what? It's fine. You said it, Paul. Steam Tam. One singular Steam Tam.
Caleb Snyder's Palnya Mike sees what? What?
Okay, no, you got this. You got this. Okay. There's a period there that's not specified.
Caleb Snyder's Palnya Mike CPS Transformers 5 bad.
Oh, no, you're right. It is incomprehensible.
They're just trying to break us now. Mike C.
Ari or Ari. Let us know. How am I supposed to say that?
Respect me, daddy.
Kid Chaos. Harold of many demons.
I play the fuck out of Sega Genesis Kid Chaos. Ventus 13.
Devin Dallin.
Ben Little.
Dusty Burger.
Morgy Porgy Puddin' Pie.
Autumn.
And welcome to the Book of Names. Haptic. I love your controllers.
Welcome, Noki Station.
And hello, Violent Sack.
Woo!
Woo. Thank you all so very, very much. We love you.
We love
Thank you. Woo!